fuck's sake. Oh, fuck. What? What the fuck did I say? That didn't sound for shit, did it? And here, under the hood, we've stored something that'll really come in handy if it doesn't fall out and break my leg. What we're doing is we're building a fucking industrial film. Trying to give these guys everything they can get. I mean, that's it. Fuck it. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. We suppose we open... Gotta do it again, right now. Oh, fuck. 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 Oh, fuck. Shit. Tony, do me a favor, will you please? Will you? Will you do me a kindness?
Leave.
Yeah.
I think I want to be walking in and out if you're going to fuck up and I got to come back.
I don't make any difference to me at this juncture. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tony. Don't slam the fucking door. No more. Listen, I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day from anyone. That includes me. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. Want anybody yelling? We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the shit is going to hit the fan. And they fit the diverse needs of a very big fern, and they fit the needs of a very diverse buyer segment. Why can't I remember? I wrote this stuff. Why can't I remember it? Why don't I say it fucking right? What does the goddamn line say, Tony? What is the goddamn line? I don't give a shit what the line is. I fucked up the word rear. I can't even read the fucking VO straight. What the fuck was that? We got flies all over the fucking place. Son of a bitch. Get out of here, you fucking flies. There's a fly over the headlight, Tony. We got flies coming for us. Fuck. Fuck out of here, you flies. We got 3 flies, 5 flies. And if you will, make sure, if you will, we don't have that fly on the left side, on the passenger side, because we don't have that in frame, but make sure we don't have any flies here. And we don't have any flies. Here we go. Get out of here, you goddamn jackass. I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning. God, I can't fucking make my mind work. Tony, give me a towel for just a minute, please. That... I'm blinded by that fucking hot light. Goddamn son of a bitch! What do you mean, I'm gonna fall off the fucking thing? Fuck. Just keep running. Bullshit. I'm gonna slate this fucker. All right, I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
Still speeding.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass. Man, I'd like to kick your fucking head in. Meet innovation. Money. Fuck. Not even funny anymore. Son of a bitch! Jesus Christ. Fuck! Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck off! What the hell's the line? Shit! What the fuck is it? Can't remember the goddamn line. The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement? What is that shit? I don't know, shit. It's just all gone. I get so goddamn diuretic when I sit here, and my mouth just never stops. For 1989, each individual storage compartment has this controlled light that you can put up your fern if you want to. How's that? What shot is it? Oh, shit. What did I do? Did I walk through it? It's going to be very helpful in keeping you from falling down, you big dumb son of a bitch. You're disturbing what's left of my brain. Yeah, but my mind is such shit. To say nothing of the flies in my head. Got a fly in my mouth and every fucking other thing happens. If I knew what the rest of the line was, then I would be in good shape. It's amazing how I just babble. Uh-oh. I guess my mind is going again.
My body is dismembered from my mind completely, which is pretty average with me, but I can't think.
There's no words there. There's no words on it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. Okay. Ready? Take it away. Go. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Go. What's that mean? To play us out? Fuck it. To end the show? Yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Dark Horse Live, episode 160. Tonight has been a motherfucker already. The computer has melted 3 times as we've tried to do this. It's been one of those days. The intro is very accurate to how the fuck I feel. I am the Winnebago man right now. Just fuck it. Let's just send it live. But we are here with you. Sorry I missed you guys last week. I have BK Roller sitting in. We're going to chopping his head off a little bit. I'll fix that.
That's the way the night's been.
That's the way the night's been. But yeah, BK Roller sitting in. Tonight on the show, we have TNT Extracts, legendary Hashman. I'm super stoked to get this interview. I wish tonight's technical difficulties would have went a little bit smoother. So at what point I just abandoned having us on screen altogether and said, fuck it. And TNT was the more important screen to be watching. So, we tried to get through this interview. It's a good interview still. He's got a little dog that likes to clipper clop in the background. There's a bird going off at certain points. We have computer sounds happening. We have CPUs melting. We have forgotten questions restarted 3 times. But I'm going to bring you that interview.
Today.
I bet we can get him when he comes back to town at some point, because I'm sure he'll be through to sit in, and we'll do a much more proper interview. But I wanted to have him on the show, and I'm going to show the interview, even though it's not our best interview we've ever done. But it's been one of them fucking days. It's been one of them fucking weeks, months, if not even quarters, if not even whole years.
Amen. Thus far.
So I don't know what I did with my big bag of weed, but before we get started, I hope you all have a big bag of weed, and I hope you can fire something up as we're about to watch this interview. I have some free shit that I suppose we could do. Let's speak to C-Bizarre real quick. All the promo deals have been out, so everyone should have those at this point. And the last round of orders, there was just a lot more orders after that. I just got all those basically sorted, so they should be going out tonight, tomorrow morning. But we're basically caught up, so I'm comfortable to do a free something right now. Let me push the button.
It's free.
It's free!
All right, so how are you going to win Dark Horse Live, or Dark Horse Genetics Live at gmail.com? In the subject line, you're going to write TNT Extracts.
Nice guy.
What number? BK, give me a number.
13.
Put your hand in this bag and pick something out. Don't look. This section of the show is inadvertently sponsored by Sin City Seeds, because I have a ton of them, and we love Sin City Seeds. Ooh. So what do you got there? Go ahead and say it in the mic.
Candy Goji.
Candy Goji.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to pack a Candy Goji? You said number 45?
Candy Goji. I said 13.
Oh, 13? Jeez, Louise, 13.
Yeah.
All right, so someone's probably already won this at this point. But yeah, Dark Horse Genetics Live at gmail.com in the subject line. Right, TNT Extracts, the 13th person is going to win this pack of Sin City Seed Candied Goji. Goji OG to Cinnamon Cookies 5 regular seeds. These are regs. All right, everybody, good luck. Give me time to ship this free shit, because it's the last thing on my list. I love you all, but it's free. So you got to go to the last part of the list. All right, but we're going to get you.
Shout out Sin City.
All right. So, let's go ahead and do this interview. Like I said, sit through this one if you can, and we'll be on the back side of it. But, like I say, I wanted to show you guys this interview. There's a few technical glitches that happen. But, check this out. TNT Extracts, thanks for doing this show. I really appreciate it. All right, everybody, we are here with TNT Extracts. And obviously got BK Roller sitting in tonight. But, welcome to the show, man. I really appreciate you taking some time out and joining us this week.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I kind of, for those that may not know TNT Extracts, maybe not from Colorado area, I kind of asked our guests to start in the beginning. Just sort of tell us a little bit about your journey. You don't have to go in super detail, but where you're from, where did you come up from, and what was the start of your cannabis journey?
I mean, my cannabis journey started in middle school. I mean, just like I assume a lot of people that are legacy and that have been in it forever started about middle school. Um, and then I started, as soon as I got out of high school, I started growing a little bit, a couple plants here and there. And then, was always interested in it and involved in some form of fashion of whether it be growing or extracting. We were doing bubble hash back in the day with a bucket and a drill and making some ugly green hash. But always been involved in some form and fashion. I moved to Colorado because it became legal in Colorado and I moved out there around 2014 and started, growing and extracting out in Colorado.
Gotcha. What early strains stood out to you? In those early days, those early washes. What was some of the genetics you guys may have been working with way back when? Did something stand out?
No, I mean when we were washing back in the days, it wasn't we really didn't have as much knowledge about strain specific things washing and stuff like that and weak neck traits and stuff like that and in Florida we had a lot of hazes and stuff like that, so a lot of the stuff didn't really wash really well. And a lot of the stuff that we had access to wasn't the greatest. So hydrocarbon extractions ended up being more of the beginning influence to me when I moved into Colorado from Florida. Hydrocarbon extracts were more of what I was doing. I was running like a MK 4 or something like that, the Terpinator or something like that in Florida in 2013, 2014 time, 20 maybe a little before, yeah.
So you had like a huge push when you came through. I shouldn't say push, but made a huge name for yourself early on in Colorado in those early extraction days. I think that when you hear the name TNT, you think fire hash and you think diamonds. What about those early days do you think that kind of sprung you to the top, if you will? You kind of, like I say, you were you still are, but you were one of the best, earliest hash makers that we've seen out here. What was the key to that?
I appreciate that. A big part of it was just trying to, well, first of all, wanting to smoke the best. And first and foremost, it's always we want to have the best for our head. We want to have the best, medicine for ourselves. So that's what it always really came from. And if I couldn't find it somewhere else, I was going to make it myself. And then when I moved to Colorado, the scene became that everybody was an extractor, everybody was a grower. So if you wanted to do anything or make any kind of name for yourself or do anything, you had to do things that other people weren't doing or produce quality that other people weren't producing to really stand out. You had to do, and that's, I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to things.
All right, we're back. The CPU wanted to melt and crash the computer, so we're going to redo that. I moved BK over to my left on one cam, and we got TNT back here. So let's give it a go a second time. Where we left off there, I was saying that you were one of the better known hash makers in Colorado early on, and if you could kind of expand on how that happened and how you got there, if you would.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I don't know, man. Just I guess just paying attention to the small details is what it comes to. Is just attention to detail, paying attention to the small ones, understanding, I guess, what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, and doing it. I mean, and then just being, involved with some great gardens.
I would say early on in Colorado, were there particular genetics that you loved to work with? You were mainly hydrocarbon, obviously, at this time, but what stood out? These diamonds that you were making that kind of, I think, made you famous. What was it that you were looking for in genetics early on in that time?
I love the greasy flowers. The greasy flowers normally gave you those super wet terps, like the super viscous at room temperature water like terps. So I mean like the HP 13. when that was around, and I don't even know if that's a real HP13 that goes around Colorado, but it's that HP13 that we get that smells like oranges
Yeah, yeah.
and just that super wet resin. But when you rub your glove on it, it's grease instead of sand. Just like a lot of hazes and a lot of them where the sativas are.
Similar to how people that wash non-solvent nowadays can kind of feel the plant and feel if it's going to be a washer or not also. I mean, you can kind of feel the grease and feel
Oh,
the grit.
for sure, definitely.
I'm curious, I think you mentioned it earlier on, but let's talk early extraction like tech. Were you one of these, copper pipe and or PVC pipe coffee filter kind of guys, like open blasting in the backyard, or like what was
I
the earliest adaptation of making hash for you?
definitely the earliest was getting glass pipes from head shops. They were glass tubes that were being made. I mean, I started when they were doing like the turkey basters from Bed Bath and Beyond with the screens that like way back early in the day. But I mean, I personally started jumping in when I started getting glass tubes and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, I had one of those glass tubes at one point, and lo and behold, the day I'm deciding to teach somebody how to make, open blast hash, I didn't realize that the screen had been previously clogged up really well before, so I had filled it, started pushing in the butane in there, and I'm expect to see it start gushing out the bottom, but it's not, and I'm kind of starting to think in my head just at that moment, like, this isn't working how it's supposed to work, and then, boom, the whole, stopper, the can of whatever butane shot 30 feet in the air. All of the material in the tube blasted back out of the tube backwards, shot me in the face with butane soaked stuff in the eyeballs. I thought I was blind. I thought that the glass tube had shattered. But when you said glass tube, it just brought me back to a terrible place in my life.
Yeah, definitely don't miss those days at all. Especially like Pink House. Pink House back in the day were running 4-foot tubes in the back of their dispensary with a can of butane on a wand, and
Yep.
they were running in the back of their place.
Yeah, a lot of us didn't know shit and didn't know any better. And I remember everybody bringing that into their kitchen to double boil it off in their sink, and then they'd have a oven with a pilot light going right next to it. And how many people blew their houses up or exploded their houses? I mean, I know a few personally. So it was a dangerous tech for kind of idiots to be messing with that didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I fully admit I was one of them at the time. But I'm curious as to, you mentioned Pink House, but what was some of the earlier places that you kind of worked with? And as you worked into legalization and everything, I'm not sure that you ever actually ran or owned a MIP lab out here, but you sort of worked in a bunch. Where were you
Yeah.
affiliated?
Nowhere really out there in Colorado. I mean, my roommate worked at where the hell did he work? Mahatma Concentrates near the end of their run, and we shared some tech with those guys over there, Heath and them. And I mean, around the time that the recrystallization came around, I mean, Green Dot Dave was doing a little bit of it. There was Cannabis Maximus. Was that their name?
I remember that name, but yeah, I haven't heard that in such a long time.
Harmony was just coming around. A lot of those brands were just starting to do all that stuff around the same time. So we were all, all sharing tech and stuff like that around that time.
Sure. I'm curious your thoughts on, and if you predicted the evolution of price, because there was at points when a gram of this stuff was, I mean, you could speak to it, BK, because you probably were buying them, but 120 with 200. What was the highest gram that we had saw when the hype hit the mania?
I don't know. I think they were slinging higher prices in Cali, wasn't you?
Yeah, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
it was super high, and then shatter itself basically now is as a product is just almost non-existent. But I'm just curious. We've seen that the prices of concentrates be incredibly high, and then we've seen them slide back down. And the same thing can parallel to the actual equipment. I remember these incredible extractors and stuff when they got up to being $500,000 stuff and huge columns and everything else. And it started with a PVC pipe and it ended with a $500,000 rig. But I'm just sort of curious the evolution. Did you predict that hash was gonna kind of fall in value the way that it had, or has it in your opinion?
It has in a lot of the marketplaces, man. Hydrocarbon extractions aren't pulling what they used to, and it's because also a shift of a lot of the quality material. If you're going to make more money on the material by putting it to solventless, all the good material is going to go to solventless. I mean, there's a couple homies that I know that still make some great hydrocarbon extractions, and I mean, I'll pay them as much for their hydrocarbon as you would for a solventless, and it's because it's the same garden. You're getting about the same output. I mean, it's crazy to me, and that's what'll keep those people doing the good quality, because everything's going to chase where the money goes, and if the money is in solventless, all the fire material is going to go into the solventless, even if it doesn't wash, even if it's there's a lot to be said about water soluble terpenes, and there's not a genetics even now. Everything is turning towards solventless production, and we're losing a lot of those strains that we used to enjoy back in the day because they just don't wash.
Yes. Yeah, I'll speak to that just real quick. Yeah, I was calling it pretty weed a couple of weeks ago. I was like, everything now is turning into just pretty weed and weed that has to wash well and is super triked out. But there's tons of ugly strains that are super important to the the history of cannabis that I feel like we're starting to lose because people are breeding out of them. But that was a super valid point. I am curious as to, I know that you have moved on to Ohio out of Colorado. Like I say, you departed Colorado into an Ohio situation, and I'll let you speak on it as much as you like. How has the Ohio run gone for you?
It's been interesting, man. It's been a learning situation. It's a kind of an immature market. Um, there 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 are definitely a lot of growth here. I mean, everything's still kind of for extractions at least. It's waste remediation. I mean, we were a standalone processor that I was taking care of here, so we were sourcing all our material, but just what people wanted to feed to extracts or what people were feeding to their own labs was horrible, man. I mean, it was disheartening to see that that's where the marketplace is. But I mean, it's the beginning stages, and I mean, the beginning stages in Colorado were the kind of the same way. There was you could get either it was indica, sativa, or hybrid shatter, and that's the only way they came. They didn't even come strain specific. There was just indica or hybrid or sativa, and they would pretty much mix everything up. So I mean, you would hope that here in 2024 that people would be beyond that, but it's still there. There's a lot of learning to do about the industry here and just how things work smoothly and to deal with patients. Patients have a daily limit here, so it's not even a gram. It's a 0.85, which is I think yeah, it's a 0.85,
That's weird.
and that's the concentrate testing under 77%. So it's under 620 milligrams or something like that of THC per daily dose of dabbable concentrate, or they sell tenths, a 0.283 of a flower,
Really?
and that's considered a daily dose, and you're allowed one of those a day, either that, 100 milligrams of an edible, which is a daily dose. So it's just the market is kind of messed up. The pharmacy board took it over here, so they kind of messed a lot of things up by controlling it like it was a prescription drug rather than a holistic medicine like it is.
So you're saying the dispensaries are only selling essentially daily doses of concentrate or cannabis?
Well, no, you can. So you get your if you get your 6 month card or whatever like that, you can go buy a 6 month limit all in one day if you want. But every day you're only allowed either a 0.85, a tenth, or a 100 milligrams of edibles.
Interesting. That's a very interesting way to do it. I've never heard of anything like that before.
That's retarded.
When you were there first, it didn't start like that?
No, it's been like that since I started out here.
Oh, okay. That's kind of wild. And are they still currently kind of only selling it as indica sativa hybrid as far as concentrates, or do they have
No,
state
no,
names
no,
now?
no, 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 no. Then that was never here. That was Colorado.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
everything's always been like they've tried to be strain specific, and everything's tried to be pretty well run here. We've got rosin. There's not much flower rosin on the market, which is always a good sign of a cannabis dabbable cultured society. Is if you don't see much CO2 or flower rosin on the market, you know they're doing a little bit better.
What about BHO out there? Is that still a kind of a product that's hot or sold at all? Has that slowed down?
Extracts in general, I don't think are a big marketplace out here. I think more flour and carts and edibles are the big markers out here. Not a lot of people into the hash game.
Gotcha.
Everybody in the hash game kind of goes to Michigan and does the whole caregiver type thing or something like that.
I kind of curious what would be your thoughts on your next move. Do you have a plan to exit there and move to a different kind of place, like different kind of setup, different kind of
Uh,
rules, or where
um,
where do you see yourself?
I'm just doing consulting right now, helping people out. You know, when people have problems. If I could find a lab, you know what I mean, that I was happy with, or that was connected to a grow that I was really happy with, I wouldn't mind getting a residency somewhere or something like that, but taking a position like that. But as it is right now, I've I want to get more into the creating like selling bottles and corks. You know what I mean? When Prohibition ended,
Yeah,
or
picks and
shovels
shovels.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm trying to get into more line into that because uh, processing and doing what I've been doing it for the market is horrible, man. It's you don't get a lot of a love for doing things properly if that's, you know what I mean, like there's not much reward for anybody, and these big corporations, these guys are only concerned about the bottom line.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about it, either it's like working with cannabis when you love it is like pimping out a girl that you love. I mean, it's not something that you can do or that's recommended, or I mean, it's it doesn't work out. The things that you have to do and stuff like that to produce a product on this market to be competitive is not something that any of us are, you know. I mean, I wish, and maybe in the future there could be, but right now the way things are, it's really hard to put something out that checks all the boxes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just curious. Take us through a day in the life, if you will, because I'm sure working for some of these large scale, companies and doing some of these runs, I bet people have no idea what a day in the life is working at some of these places, or maybe not a day, but a batch in the life. Like, what does it take for you to process a batch over?
Man, I mean, there's so I was in charge of solventless and hydrocarbon extractions at these facilities. So I mean, it's for me, it's and then not only that, I got brought out here, and the people that we were working with knew nothing. Like we're brand new, green in the marketplace, like had never touched a machine or washed hash or anything before. So it was. It was difficult to get things up and running, but I mean, once things are running, I mean, it's a lot easier. But so you mean on solventless? I mean, here in Ohio, we had to go source the material. We used to go run around. I used to go to run around to all these different grows and check out different people's material and see what they were putting out and see if there was anything good and fire. Then we'd get it brought down to us. We determined whether it go to solventless or hydrocarbon. And then we ran NB oilers and Luna machines and hash techs and the low temp ospreys in these facilities, and they were in Maryland and Ohio.
Um, as far as the actual, like, I guess I would say, like, amount of time that is spent on the physical wash, or the time that is spent with, like, I guess we used to load socks. I don't know if you guys are still doing that,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
kind of loading
definitely.
socks. Like, how much hash do you kind of make in one of these? I'm talking more of these larger scale facilities, but how much hash or how much extraction are you getting per run on some of these larger scale machines?
100 pound days normally on the hydrocarbon side, normally 120 pounds. They are 6 by 48 inch columns. And then on the solventless side, 30,000 grams, 40,000 grams. Sometimes on the Osprey you can get up to, and then on the uh, on the hash check, I think we were only running like maybe 5,000 grams, 4,000 grams. We were running one of their smaller units in Ohio.
That's a fuck ton of hash. I mean, that's amazing. Are there a lot of facilities of, caliber, your size and caliber that are, or I guess were in Ohio, that are kind of doing those size runs?
Ohio, we weren't able to run, so we would be able to run full capacity for a week or two, and then they would have to do sales for a good while to catch up. I mean, the amount. I'm all beat dogs.
It's all good.
Yeah, the amount of hash that the people out here in Ohio were consuming was very low. There's a stockpile of everything here in Ohio.
Yeah.
That's what they're. So another thing that's crazy right now in Ohio is, so they voted in recreational. The recreational is going to be pulling from the same supply that the med was pulling from. So all that old weed that hasn't been sold, all the old hash, all the old everything, is just going to get pushed onto the rec market. And everybody that has a rec license, a med license, automatically has a rec license.
Interesting. Yeah, it'll be a changeover of dumping of a lot of shit product at, the early stages of legalization there, or recreation there.
Now,
sure.
here, I have to beg to question. What's the limits going to be on the recreation since they just passed it? Is it still going to be these retarded limits? Are they still going to be controlled by any of the pharmaceutical influence that you were referring to earlier?
That's what we've been wondering. I've been asking, and I haven't got a direct answer. They've supposed to come out with new laws that were supposed to be released before they actually rolled out the recreational program yet. And from what we're seeing, it looks like it's going to be an ounce worth of flour, and then like 3 or 4 grams of concentrate or something like that. I think the limit's going to be.
And is that a daily, monthly, or 6-month limit?
Daily limit. It would be a daily limit.
Yeah, you see what a slap in the face to the patients this is?
Dude, ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I wonder how the recreation may change with the pharmacy running it too, like just the release, the rollout. It's just interesting. Typically, what we're used to is seeing tax departments control these like rollouts, but when you start to see pharmaceutical people controlling these rollouts, this is kind of the mess that you're talking about.
Yeah. It makes me nervous as hell.
Yeah, like we were trying to. So there was a 77%, or it's a 70% limit with a 10% wiggle room. So it was 77%, and then we were allowed to have our concentrates test at. So if we had something that tests hotter, or a lot of the companies have stuff that tests hotter, they would just cut it with CBD. That was the original way that everyone would do it.
Such a backwards thing to limit THC. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand this. To see all these legislations around the country seem to be wanting to regulate THC or cap THC, and it just seems a very silly thing to do.
They want to limit THC. They want to cap THC. They want to tax THC. All of these are retarded. Is alcohol taxed on the percentage of alcohol in the container? Absolutely not. So just in that example alone, it's absurd.
Yeah, we're supposed to be regulated like alcohol.
Right. I'm curious to ask you what you think might be coming next, because the evolution of hash or concentrate specifically has really been a cool thing to watch, and at times it's fast and furious like iPhones, where they're just kind of coming out all the time. And a lot of them have been, and you may correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I may be, but a lot of them have just been beautiful mistakes where people sort of fuck something up and they realize, oh shit, what's happening here? Or but if anyone would sort of know, other than the beautiful mistakes, are you seeing something that you sort of see as the future of extract?
For just mass production things like that, I see a lot of things aiming towards mass production, like that plasma static tech that Sambo Creek is doing, along with the cryo mass freezer, just being able to take down, acres and acres of material and solvently sift it out and then make a product out of that from solventless. I mean, it's crazy for the ability for mass production of cannabis that we're going through now. The industrial age, I guess, if you will, like that company out there in Colorado, they have this machine called the Behemoth that I think is like 11 or 10 or 11 columns or 12 columns of 6 by 48 that can all be run in sequence, like, and it's like something ridiculous, like 500 liters of solvent on it or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like the future of extraction is going to be to pull up to a farm with a container that has a beautiful $500,000 rig or more in it, probably more, and extract their entire field and, like, you know, get the combine going and get the extractor going and be done by fucking Monday. Like, that is the future, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, extracts too. I think extracts are just starting off, man. I think that we're on the tip of the spear. I mean, there's the amount of people that smoke extracts to the consumers that actually know about cannabis or something is ridiculous. And once, you know, nationwide legalization happens and people start getting there's always going to be a room for solventless. There's always going to be a place for hydrocarbon. All these extraction methods are just like tools on a hash maker's belt. I mean, you should know how to do them all. You should know how to take apart. Like, it's like butchery or working on a car. You can't know how to work on one part of the car or only one type of cars. I mean, I guess there are people that only work on one type of cars, but being knowing what to do and where to take things, I think is going to have a big plant.
I gotta ask, why we have you here. I would be a fool if I didn't ask, and could say fuck off. But any secrets, any tips and tricks, anything you can reveal to these guys on how to make hash that the common man is fucking up?
I mean, the attention's in the details, man. I mean, everything from for solventless. I mean, from taking down the plant, you want to be as delicate as possible. You want to realize what you're doing is you're trying to collect those glandular heads and just, you know, do everything that's going to help you in that process, as far as taking down the plant nicely, not putting too much pressure on them, not, you know, temperature wise, getting them down to temperature quick enough. Then, you know, your water, the purity of your water, the temperature of your water, the cleanliness of everything that you're using. I mean, just the devil's in the details and everything, you know what I mean? And if you pay attention to every step and make every step as efficient as possible and as cleanly as possible, the end product is going to show. I mean, obviously you can't polish a turd and you can only reveal what's there, but preserving those terpenes and those washes and is going to be a big part. And then and same thing with hydrocarbon extraction. Not letting your material warm up before you put it in, letting all your solvent chill back down before you start your next run. It's just it's all in the small details to make great hash, man. It really is. It's mundane and weird, as pointless as it sounds, but it's all in the small details to make great hash.
I mean, it's like good in, good out, basically. And it's if you're precise about what you're doing, I'm not speaking out of school here, but if you're precise about what you're doing in the hash department, you're also continuing the good out process. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
BK, you got anything you want to do? I apologize for the choppiness of this interview. We'll slice it back together. But yeah, do you got anything that you want to get into?
I don't know. What's your take on, you know, the different angles that the extraction side has taken over the last few years with HHC and Delta 8, and, you know, do you see these things lasting? Have you
Artificial terpenes?
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother ball of wax there. But, you know, specifically on the extraction side, though,
there's going to be a market for everything. I mean, there's a person that's still smoking some shatter or something that on a titanium nail that you and I wouldn't touch.
Right.
But there's a marketplace and a place for everybody. I mean, we shouldn't eat McDonald's. We eat McDonald's. We know it. But I mean, I don't know, man. There's that's a great question.
Throw another one at you while you're thinking. Easy one for you. Favorite kind of rig? How do you smoke concentrate? You got to go to?
Rigs, definitely.
Torch and a rig.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And all the guys that are in the know got the torch and the rig still. They don't got the fancy electronic. I'm not gonna name any names, but all the electronic apparatuses. So all the guys that got the fire as hash, they still got the torch and the nail.
I will tell you though, dude, this thing changed the game, dude. It
Oh
did.
yeah. Shout out
It
to Puff Co.
just and the XL 3D banger is the only way to go on it. But just being able, like, we go to sessions now, and hardly anybody brings rigs. Everyone's, Puffco peaking just because it's so easy. You don't have to take a torch, a mat. I mean, for that, I like it for consumption. Definitely on the golf course and you're fishing and shit like that. It's it's the way to smoke.
On the
But I
go, it's hard
definitely,
to beat. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
but
I
when you
agree.
get home, there's nothing like a rig and torch.
Amen.
Favorite kind of concentrate right now, or favorite strains, favorite hash? What are you smoking right now? If you have your dream jar of
Uh,
concentrate, what is it?
I've got a couple different ones. I'm smoking on some sticky. I don't, you guys know Sticky C Murder out there?
Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out.
I love Sticky. So I'm smoking on some of his nitro fumes and some Gary Payton blueberry. I got some Superior solventless. They're purple pebbles. There it goes.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, man. Yeah, just been smoking a little bit of everything. I smoke hash rosin and BHO all the time. I usually have both.
You smoke flower?
I do smoke flower as well. It's been harder finding fucking fire flower, man. Uh, I'm gonna have to hook up with you guys when I come out there. You guys know Omasake Farms out there?
I haven't heard that one. Omasaki?
Okay, I've been hearing some stuff about them that I've got to try some of their flower. Since Marshall Weed Pray Love left Colorado, man, it's been
Yeah.
I've left my flower plug.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we'll be happy to sort you when you come to town at any time. I say, do you envision a chance that you come back to Colorado to the industry here? I mean, I know you're consulting kind of right now, but would you come back to
If
Colorado?
definitely if because I've got a small crew, man. I mean, it's me and a couple of my friends, and we'll do everything ourselves basically. So if I could find a lab somewhere in Colorado and I could get some good material, well, I know there's good material where to get good material in Colorado. There's a couple guys still doing some firework out there, but yeah, dude, I would be happy to bring something back just to keep it small and do some firework. I'd be happy to.
Sure. Well, in a perfect world, we might maybe be able to make that happen in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You let me
dreaming. I don't
know.
have a C1D1 lab right now, and they're about, I don't know, $250,000 to get built. So, yeah, just to that, you may know as a consultant, has the C1D1 lab kind of come down? I know the Connex kind of, they got them down to like 86 grand or some shit at one point where you can kind of just
Yeah.
get one dropped in. But what's the cost of a true C1D1 right now if I wanted to do one?
It just depends on the side and the build
Yeah.
out that you're looking. Podtronics are nice. I mean, you could do like in these other states they're doing like paint booths. You know what I mean? It just depends on what your fire marshal's rating and stuff like that. But the Podtronics are definitely some of the nicer ones that are out right now. They're a little pricey.
Word.
Like a 1212 is like I think like a buck 30 or something like that.
That's still like, bro. The last upgrade for our C1D1 fan was that was a hundred and something thousand
It
dollars,
was only
wasn't it?
25, 30,000, but I'd had to rip out a $30,000 fan to replace it with another $30,000 fan with more CFM or whatever, and it was pretty
Yeah,
ridiculous situation. So we went non-solvent straight away.
yeah. And I mean it's kind of what the market's calling for right now. I mean both in edibles and everything. And yeah, it's what the market is calling for. Right now is solventless.
I hear that. I agree with that too. What about carts? You see the cart game dying down or staying strong?
I was trying to stay away from the cart talk, honestly, but no, just because
Got him.
the
Yeah.
the whole the rosin thing, I like rosin carts to me it's like seeing a square peg in a round hole. Like if you have to decarb the rosin to put it into a pen, like you're doing more harm than you are doing good. I'd rather just dab it. Um, I don't. Rosin pens, I think hydrocarbons make the best pens, especially with the centrifuge and how we're separating out the terps from the THCA and then, like heat decarbing the THCA. And so the terps and the cannabinoid profiles never even see heat. So the first time they see heat is when you're hitting them on a pen. So it's just like dabbing. It's converting right there.
Yeah, I say I'm kind of anti-cart also, but I will say there's a time and a place, like sometimes on a layover that like something along those lines that
Careful,
you
careful.
may they may come in very handy.
Yeah, you know,
They're very
when you
convenient.
can't do anything else, or you're not supposed to anyway.
Excellent. Well, I'll give you the last word, man. Is there anything you want to shout out, or where can people find you as far as your consulting work? You got a website, we got your Instagram on the screen, but yeah, where can
Yep.
people link up with you?
Right here, TNT Extractions is probably the best easy way.
Yep. Excellent, man.
Word.
If you guys need any help with extraction, this is one of the best extractors in the world, and you guys should absolutely link up with the man. Like I say, I'll speak for him a little bit. I'm sure it's probably not. You don't have to be a mega facility to hit him up. I think he'll probably work with you. Just if you're
For
a
sure.
smaller guy and need some help.
Even if we just got to FaceTime him, man, I have no problem. I love helping people make their hash game better, man. There's nothing better to me than making people's hash game better. I know everybody benefits from it. You know what I mean? From the consumer to the person making it. So I'm happy to help.
Excellent, man.
Yeah, Jason, bro, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely hit us up when you get out here, and yeah, man, it
Yeah, we'll grab some dinner, man. I really appreciate you doing it.
was a good
No
time.
problem, man. Anytime, man.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
You guys have a great night.
You too. So there's TNT again. Really appreciate him coming on the show and doing it. And sorry for some of those technical issues. It seems that our computer wants to like fight me every week lately. So we're gonna Office Space this one day live. I promise you that. We will have the fanciest of new technology, and then I will break this thing with a fucking sledgehammer for all of your entertainment, and I will get the most entertainment out of it. But yeah, thanks again for TNT for coming on the show and doing it with us. Before we get out of here, I want to shout out the sponsors to Dutch, but I figured we'd touch on some. I don't really have anything prepared on it, but Spannabis was last week. I know a lot of people are just getting back to town or all jet lagged out or whatever, but I heard Mile High Dave won a little something over there. I heard there's a bunch of winners. There's a lot of entries or a lot of categories, but I heard Mile High Dave won something I saw. I also heard that, as happens every year, that there was some issues with like police closing clubs and kind of raiding clubs, and it's weird. They have the biggest trade show in the world, and then when everyone comes to town, they have all these little private coffee shops that they just sort of look the other way on cannabis consumption and sales. But the second that this trade show happens, the bigger ones that throw any kind of party or event or anything like that seem to have the cops like right there, ready to shut the party down.
Yeah, did they have their little roadblock checkpoints like normal?
I believe so. I didn't get confirmation on it, but normally, yeah, they also set all these roadblock checkpoints up at the on-ramps when you come on and off the interstate to go to this trade show. It's like a big like complex, but the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Luckily, we were taking cabs when we went last time, but they literally pulled. There's a huge line of cars, and as we pull around it because we're in a cab, I see that the officers are like swabbing the windshields, and they were looking for people that had like marijuana residue on their windshield, on the inside of their windshield, to basically like write tickets to. So I thought it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Everything in Spain is a little bit different. They literally like basically write a ticket, you pay for it on the spot, and you're good to go. I remember there's people that were getting like drunken public tickets, but they were only like $15. So once they had the ticket, they would just keep the ticket on them, and every time a new cop would come up, they would show them the ticket, so you couldn't get drunk twice in public.
too drunk.
It's
to
sort of
public.
like paying $15 to go out and party in the streets and whatever, rummage around Spain.
Okay.
But either way, Spannabis was last week, and it's always a good time. We didn't go this year. I'd like to go next year. It's been a minute since we've been. I always enjoy going out there. But yeah, if you have any Spannabis stories, leave them in the comments. I'm curious what went down. I feel like an outsider this year because I wasn't there. I wasn't present. Maybe we'll get somebody to come on the show and tell us how it was this year.
Yeah, because High Times took it over, right?
Actually, technically, High Times does own Spannabis now, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, a little bit
I
different.
wonder how it's changed, and what everyone's thoughts on it was.
Maybe we get Pure Sativa, our guy Pure Sativa over there from the UK. Maybe he'll come on and do it for us and just kind of tell us how it's going, because he's one of the big dogs over there. Has like a big 50, 60-foot booth in the middle. But yeah, I'm interested. So yeah, we'll have some. Hopefully, we'll get a little more feedback for you on Spannabis. But yeah, before we get out of here, I want to shout out Dutch. BK, do you got anything you want to shout out before you get out of here?
Yeah, man. Just everybody that's still hanging in there and has love for the plant, because this industry is in the market and has been shit for most people over the last year plus. So, you know, the bright side of it is it's weeding out the people that don't have love for the plant, and unfortunately, it's probably taken a few of us that do as well. But shout out to the people that, like us, are, you know, doing everything we can to keep the love for the plant in existence in the legal market and beyond.
Here, here. I'm going to shout out Dutch real quick. My favorite sponsor, my only sponsor right now. But Dutch, we love you. Dutch is a super dope channel on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to find it, it's spelled just like it's shown on the screen right here. It's Dutch Sensei, but it's spelled like Dutch Sense. So, yeah, go find him. And if you want to know what Dutch is all about, he's a hobbyist cannabis breeder. He's an avid seed collector. He's got all of them, and I mean all of them. He's an avid watcher of this show, which we love and appreciate. He's brought many people to this show, so many people in the chat right now know Dutch already. But shout out Dutch, show him some love in the comments.
For sure.
And his channel, like I said, is really cool. He's a guy who basically predicts earthquakes, but beyond that, has really cool videos where he kind of uses some technologies to map the earth, and he locates underground like bases that disappear off Google Maps, and he talks about like potential. Really, it's about potential like earthquake that could come to your area and how you have a bug out bag, how you be prepared. But the man's live like 24/7 when the government's not trying to shut him down. So I don't know. He's remarkably accurate, and it's kind of strange. All the alphabet people don't want him to stream, and that's not a joke. So yeah, but we love you, Dutch. Go give him a follow, and yeah, I think that's going to be it till next week. Same.
Gary wants to know when the clones are coming back to Seed Bazaar.
Well, soon. Like I said, I don't have an exact answer to that. We're gonna have to make sure all the clones that were gone are everyone is satisfied with what we had, and then we'll bring them back. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I wasn't expecting that question, but yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna get out of here now. So yeah, same bat time, same bat channel. Next week. Actually, next time we'll probably be at 7 o'clock. This time we were late because it was a night from hell. But we do appreciate TNT for coming on the show and doing it. And yeah, he's the man. If you don't know who TNT is at all, you really should check him out. He is the fucking man. But without further ado, the Soulful Sounds, Stone Ninja, slightly edited. Peace.
Little baby gay fish, come sit on my shoulder today. Little gay parrot fish, sit on my shoulder today and make me a fried shrimpy dish with some soy sauce. Super fried egg roll, triple fried fried rice, triple fried rice, baby. 2-for-1 egg roll, super triple fried rice, triple fried rice, baby. Don't forget the soy sauce. Chan chan chan. There's my gay fish song, dudes. What?